Thank you very much, Chairperson, for giving me this opportunity to speak on the strategy of the Union government for the coming fiscal year, to talk about the expenditure, to talk about the revenues, commonly called as budget. It generally comes with great hopes, but I feel it is short on ideas and lacks growth, invigorating and inclusive proposal. I strongly feel this is not a budget for common man, Chairperson. And I also feel this is not a budget for farmers nor for poor. And this is not a budget for consumer spending nor for sincere taxpayers. But this budget, which does not bubble with new ideas, to see that the India grows into a 5 trillion economy, which was the aspiration of this government, and I feel it will be an illusion. This budget is aiming to propose to borrow nearly 16.61 lakh crores, Chairperson, for the next financial year, which is 10% more than the BE of the current fiscal. This budget, which does not lay the foundation for the blueprint to state the economy to Amrit Kal to India at 100 years. As my CM has said, this is a Golmaal budget, Chairperson, because I'll give you a few examples. The way the duty was brought down on dry fruits, cashew nuts, dates and all from 30% to 2.5%, and the duty was brought down on food for dogs and cats from 30% to 20%, and they increased the duty on toys from 15 to 25%, and they have reduced the diamond jewelry duty to 5%. Are these proposals for poor? I don't think so, Chairperson. On the other hand, the allocations for healthcare was reduced, which is basically meant for poor. The allocations for Narega were reduced, which is basically for rural poor. And the custom duty on the imitation jewelry was increased, which generally poor women wear. They can't afford the jewelry on which the tax was reduced. So this budget is definitely catastrophic to poor and middle class. So I strongly stand here to oppose this budget, lock, stock and barrel. When you talk about few aspects, let me talk about Dalits and OBCs. This government talks too much on SCs and STs welfare and upliftments of OBCs. But when you look into the allocations, let us have a look on these numbers. We have about 38 to 40 crores of SC STs in this country. And look at the budget, what is allocated. It is 12,800 crores, madam. If 12,800 crores is divided by 40 crores, each family is going to get around 330 rupees per year, accounting to around 25 to 30 rupees per month. What is that we can do with this? And you take the example of Telangana government. Telangana government, under my able administration of KCR, we have allocated 33,611 crores, madam, for sub-plan of SCs and STs. And we have a population of 88 lakhs. For 88 lakhs of people, our government has allocated 33,000 crores, whereas this central government has allocated only 12,800 crores. This is in addition to one more scheme, which is newly implemented by Honorable CM KCR, called as Dalith Bandhu. This Dalith Bandhu proposes to allocate 10 lakhs rupees to each Dalith family, Chairperson. This is not a program. I would want to call this as spirit of a government. This is what they have to focus upon, to reduce the disparity, to reduce the socio-economic status, to fill up the gap. They are going to give 10 lakhs to each family, madam. And when you talk about OBCs also, we have about 70 crores of OBCs in this country. And the allocated budget is 1,400 crores, madam. What is that we are looking for? Is this we really would want to call it upliftment or the welfare schemes? And there is no mention about the poor upper caste, nor about the budgetment, nor about the budget, nor about the policy. And when you talk about the farmers and Narega, the Honorable Prime Minister was on record apologizing the farmer community, whereas the Honorable Finance Minister did not have time to talk about agriculture at length in her budget. When you look into the reduction in the fertilizers, it was about 35,000 crores was reduced. And when you talk about MSP, last allocation was 2.47, next year is 2.37. We always talk about the procurement policy. My earlier speakers from Odisha also spoke about the same policy. What we say is, when MSP is declared for so many commodities in the country, why is that the total quantity is not lifted? Suppose if the government comes up with a procurement policy and announce all the procurement policy well in advance, what will happen is we can plan the quantities, we can ask the farmers to go for alternate cropping. What all we can't do? That should be the interest of the farmers. But this, I don't think ये तो थोड़ी तोहफा हो सकता किसान community के लिए. When the Honorable Finance Minister has promised in 2016 that the income will be doubled by 2022, what has happened, madam? She should have apologized the farming community in her budget. But the problem is, one side we talk saying that agriculture sector is the only sector which is not affected by pandemic. On the other side, we could not really double the income of the farmers. When it comes to PM Kisan, every state is demanding to increase the PM Kisan from 6,000 to 10,000 rupees. हमारा राष्ट्र में my CM gives 10,000 rupees to each and every acre, madam. Whereas when the central government is giving 6,000 rupees for 5 acres, all the states are requesting to increase it from 6,000 to 10,000. But she has not responded on that. When it comes to, as I said, procurement, our government, additional 5 lakh tons is supposed to be lifted. This we were talking since long, and there's a difference between Government of India, understanding between Government of India and FCI. One side FCI says they don't have enough coaches to lift the quantity. The Government of India accuses us. And you look at the NREGA allocation also. The funds were reduced by 25,000 crores. What is the reason for this, man? It was so helpful for the rural poor, but now they have reduced the funds. And I have introduced a private member bill recently also to give employment for urban poor also. Most of the poor, 50% of the population, they are residing in urban now. So the people who come from rural areas to urban area to get their children educated, they don't have any employment. If we can assure them 100 days, it will be very good, madam. When you talk about Telangana, Telangana is the latest formed state, madam. But this state is no more crawling. It is definitely sprinting. You take any aspect, we are number one, madam. All this while it was Gujarat model, which was really getting all the awards in the country. Now it is Telangana state, 2 minutes. I've just started about Telangana. Now it is Telangana state, which is performing in all aspects. And very shortly, Telangana model है वो तो गुन जाएगा ये देश में अगर इंसाफ मिले तो ना इंसाफी से हम यहाँ तक आए मैडम अगर इंसाफ करें तो you see how the industry is how the Telangana state is going to progress. Yesterday the Prime Minister has said in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha about federal government. This is a union of states, madam, not a unitary state. And he was in the Rajya Sabha today. He was talking about साथ चलेंगे, साथ चर्चा करेंगे. That is what we are looking for. Everyone would aspire the India to grow. Everyone would aspire India to go for a 5 trillion economy. We always get awards, but we are not appreciated. The Prime Minister gives awards, the ministers gives awards, but they don't appreciate because we have TRS government in our state of Telangana. When we asked for ITIR, it was not considered, madam. Whereas IT industry is best developed in my state. When we asked for the rail coach also, but it was not given. Whereas I would want to state in this parliament that a private Telangana has started a coach factory in Telangana with thousands of crores in my constituency, madam. He is Mr. Reddy of Telangana. When we have asked the railways minister, he said the coach factory is not viable. A private gentleman comes and invests in the coach factory in Telangana. This is the difference, madam. We have asked for a national status, not a single national status given to our projects. We have invested 80,000 crores on one project of Kaleshwaram. I'll talk about three economics of Telangana. The GSDP, when Telangana was formed, it was 4.5 lakh crores, madam. Now it is 9.8 lakhs. It has grown by 93%, and the so-called Gujarat has grown only by 80% in this 7 years, madam. The per capita, 2 minutes. The per capita has increased from 1.24 lakhs to 2.37, the highest in the country. And the capital expenditure before Telangana in 10 years, the government has spent only 44,000 crores, madam. After Telangana formation, we have spent 2.81 lakh crores. एक साल में हम 54,000 crores खर्च करें. When it comes to liabilities, we know where do we stand. When we come, the final thing is the tax collected, madam. We have sent 3,65,000 crores to Government of India in the last 8 years, whereas we got only 1,85,000 crores. And under CSS also, we got only 42,000 crores from the central government in 8 years, whereas we have spent only on one scheme called as Raitu Bandhu, 54,000 crores of rupees, madam. So there are so many pending projects, there are so many Telangana sent approvals for this thing. We are happy that our proposals are being copied by so many other states. We love that all the states have to follow Telangana, because Karnataka copies Mission Kakatiya, Karnataka copied Kalyan Lakshmi, Karnataka copied T-Hub also, Raitu Bandhu for farmers is copied by central government by PM Kisan, Jal Shakti is copied by Mission Bhagirath of our government, and last, the Asara pension schemes was copied by AP also. We don't mind. Because as long as we stand as an example, we are proud to do that. We only we request the Honorable Finance Minister to please give us a supporting hand so that we perform and we support the central government also. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Sunil Tatkare ji.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय